Good morning, third grade class. Today we're going to go over some addition strategies. After today's class and viewing this PowerPoint with me and Ms. Williamson, we'll be able to compare and contrast two of the different strategies we've gone over and with no more than 2 hours. These are some of the questions that we want you to keep in the back of your head as we go through our lesson today. How are relationships mathematically represented? What makes a tool or strategy appropriate for your given task? And what are some strategies you would use to solve an addition problem? To begin class today, we're going to start with this simple addition problem. So I'm going to give you guys a minute to figure out some strategies that you would like to use to answer this problem and to figure out an answer. So now we're going to talk about some ways that we use to solve this problem. See, I'm going to write them right here in the PowerPoint. So one way that I heard was counting from 34 all the way up to our answer. So the 34, 35, 36, all the way up to our answer, which I heard some people get the right answer, and our answer is 55. And then another way you can do it is by adding from left to right, which is one of the strategies we're going to go over in class today. So to do left to right, you start by adding your tens value. So it would be 30 plus 20 to get 50. And then you would add 1 plus 4 to get 5. And then you would add 50 plus 5 to get your total answer of 55. Now that we talked about a little ways to do this, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Williamson, and she's going to go over some more strategies of how to do this.
Hi guys, so now we are going to go over a few strategies like Molly has mentioned, and we're going to start with the counting on strategy. Who has heard of the counting on strategy? Even if you think you haven't, I know you all have used it before. Have any of you used your fingers to count on while adding? Exactly, that's pretty much what the counting on strategy is, but it's done mentally. Counting on is a strategy that's introduced early on in your math career. It's used to add on numbers like 1, 2, 3, or 4 to a number. So counting on is when students take the larger of two addends and count on with the other addend to get the answer or sum. So let's do a little example together. Let's say the problem is 17 plus 4. Can one of you volunteer to explain the thought process to solve this problem using counting on? Okay, thank you. So when solving, you would think in your head 17, 18, 19, 20, and get the answer, which is 21, because you are counting on. Great work. Now we're going to move on and talk about extending doubles and near doubles. Doubles are numbers that go together and become known facts in math. An example of a double is 5 plus 5, which equals 10. Does anyone else know more example of doubles? Please raise your hand and share. Oopsie. Sorry about that, technology. But does anyone else know any more examples? I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, awesome job. So some examples that I heard of doubles would be like 2 plus 2, which double is 4, 6 plus 6, which double is 12, 3 plus 3, which is 6, and 10 plus 10, which is 20. Awesome job, guys. Now that you get what numbers are doubles, let's go to near doubles. These are numbers that are just very similar to the actual double that we just learned about. So for example, it would be 4 plus 5. The strategy is that because you know that 5 plus 5 is 10, you should know to take 1 away from that to get 4 plus 5, which is 9, which is near to the double's answer of 10. Next, we're going to talk about left to right addition method, which Ms. Pryor did review earlier. So this is a mental math strategy, just like you read from left to right. In the strategy, you're going to be doing math from left to right. For example, let's add 15 plus 25. What do you need to add first? That is right. First, we are going to add the tens place. Does anyone know which numbers are in the tens place in this equation? Yes, 10 and 20 are the tens place. Now let's add those two numbers together, and what do we get? We get 30. Who knows what we do next? We are going to have 5 and 5 in the ones place, so we're going to add those together. And that is a double number actually, which we just reviewed. So we know 5 and 5 is 10. Now, finally, at the end of the strategy, we're going to be adding 30 and 10 together to get 40. Great work on that one. Now we're going to move on to friendly numbers. Does anyone have any idea what friendly numbers are? It is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. A friendly number is numbers that are close to each other. And they're very easy to work with. Isn't it easy to work with your friends? Exactly. An example of friendly numbers are numbers that are multiples of 10. And when you use this strategy, you always start by getting a number in the equation to a friendly number, and then you add the remainder. So we're going to do this together. The example is 27 plus 9. For this example, I'm actually going to get 27 to a friendly number. Does anyone know of a friendly number that is close to 27? That is right, 30. And to get 27 to 30, we're going to be adding 3 to the 27. So after doing that, we have to remember that we just added 3. So we're only going to add the remainder, which is 6. So what is 30 plus 6? 36. Great work on this. And we just went over all of those strategies together. And now we are going to do an activity. I'm going to be handing out this chart to you. Right on the board, I have written all of the sections that you're going to title in the columns. The titles are going to be counting on, left to right, doubles, near doubles, and friendly numbers. These all sound familiar, right? Because we just went over them. I want you to write in some things you learned about the strategies and also create your own example problem for them. I want at least one thing you learned and one example in each section. You're going to have 5 minutes to complete this, but please let me know if you need any help or if you need a review of any of the slides. Now that you have had some time, let's fill in this chart together. Does anyone want to share what they put under the counting on section? Thank you. So you said counting on is like when you count on from your fingers, but done mentally. That is amazing to note. Does anyone else have an example maybe they want to give? Okay, 3 plus 2. That is correct. You can do 3 plus 2, and in your mind, you can go 3, 4, 5, and get the answer, which is 5. Awesome work. Let's move on to the next section, which is left to right. We've gone over that a couple times, so we should be getting lots of hands here. Oh, so you say that you add the tens place first. That is great. And does anyone know what we add second? That is right, the ones place. Anyone have any of their own examples they created? Okay, so you're saying you did 11 plus 32. How did you do that exactly? That is great. You started by adding 10 plus 30 to get 40, and then you added the ones place, which was 1 and 2, to get 3, and got the answer 43. Great job. It is now time for doubles. Does anyone want to share what they got? Okay, so we're starting with an example. You said 4 plus 4, which is a double and makes 8. Great. Oh, and a near double would be 2 plus 3. Awesome note. And you were saying that doubles are just numbers that are the same and become facts in math. That's awesome to know. Let's move on to the final little slot, which is friendly numbers. Who has a fact for me on friendly numbers? That's right. They are numbers that are easy to work with. Thank you for sharing. Anyone have an example? Okay, so you're saying if the problem is 28 plus 5, You would add 2 to 28 to make the friendly number of 30. That is awesome. Thank you. That was an awesome activity, you guys. I'm going to turn the lesson over to Miss Pryor now, and you're going to do some more fun things with her.
Now that we went over the strategies and you guys learned some facts about them and recalled some facts, we're going to move on to a Venn diagram. So we're going to do compare and contrast of two strategies that we learned today, and you can pick the two that you want. You should have at least 2 facts in each circle, and then you should have 2 facts in the middle where you can pair them. Now we're going to give you about 5 minutes to complete this. I heard some really good things and saw some really good things that you wrote down after walking around. So one of your classmates were kind enough to let me borrow their Venn diagram to use it as an example. So they compared friendly numbers and doubles. And for friendly numbers, they put it's a number that is easy to work with. And first you have to get to a friendly number and then add on the remainder. An example they used was 18 plus 4. So for their friendly number, they got 18 to 20 by taking 2 off of 4. And then they added 2 to 20, which the 2 was the remainder to the 4, to get the full answer of 22. And their second strategy they used was doubles. So they gave 2 examples for this one. 8 plus 8, which was 16, and then 7 plus 7, which is 14. And they said that these are known facts in math. For the section that was similar between the two, they can both be mental math strategies, and they are used early in your math careers. Now that you've seen one of your peers' examples, I want you to swap with your neighbor and look at their examples and see what they had come up with for these strategies. And we'll give you about 2 minutes to complete this. Now that we've had a chance to look at our peers' work and share our work with our peers, what are some of your favorite strategies if you're comparing the two? One also was friendly numbers. I think it was easy to work with, and I think it can be really helpful in the future. Now that we're coming up on the end of our lesson, I want to review these questions again. So we're gonna have you guys pull out a piece of paper, choose one of these questions from this list, and then we want you to answer that on your piece of paper and turn it in by the end of this lesson. We'll give you about 5 or so minutes. Now that we've had a chance to complete that, just want to thank you guys for your participation today. I hope you guys had a lot of fun with this lesson. I know we did. And I hope you guys got a little more understanding of the strategies that you can use for addition in the future.